Hey guys, so today I want to talk about one of the most important questions you will ever ask yourself in life. But before I do, I want to share with you one truth about humanity. And that is that every single person is trying to write their own story. Now, this seems simple, but if you really think about it, it's powerful. Because what it means is that no matter if you're a good person or a bad person or what's happened to you, you're just trying to write your own story. But the difficulty is, it's really hard to write your own story if you don't know who the main character is. And that's why today I want to be talking about the question, who am I? Now it's an interesting question because at some point in our lives, every single person asks themselves this question. Whether you're 10 years old, 15 years old, 50 years old, it doesn't matter. At some point you stop and you think, who am I? And when you ask yourself that question, you pull out your book. Right? And you start scrolling through the pages and you say, okay, well, I'm going to reread what I've written here and therefore I'll understand who I am. The thing is, when you pull out your book in your head of everything that you are, you realize that it's not your book. In fact, there are 5,000, 50,000 pages written by people other than you. And that's just a fact about our society. See, when we're brought into this world, we're like a blank slate. We're trying to write our own story. 0 pages are written in the book. But all of a sudden people say, you gotta do this, you gotta feel this, this is the expectation of you, and this is what you have to do. And through no fault of their own, they end up writing in all the pages for you. With their own drawings and their own words and their own ideas and all the stuff. And so when you ask yourself that question, who am I? You don't actually have the answer. Because you go back in your book and, well, okay. And then you say, I'm angry. You know, I'm not going to settle for this. I want to figure out who I am, so I'm start ripping out the pages. And you start ripping out the pages, right? But the thing is, each page is like a Band-Aid. And it hurts. And the more you rip, the more it hurts. And so maybe you get 5 pages in. Maybe you get 50 pages in. Maybe you get 500 pages in. But the thing is, there are 5,000. And this is where it gets tough. Because although every single person asks themselves, who am I, very few actually ever find out. Some people get closer than others, but it's this eternal question because no one can manage to rip off every single page voluntarily. You can't just decide and say, okay, well, I'm going to figure out who I am and just rip off all the pages. It's not how it works. You can't. It's physically impossible. So what do you do then? How do you rip off the pages? How do you figure it out? Well, you have to use everything around you. I made another video about using your pain, embracing the pain. Pain is the fuel for change. You have to use your environment, your situation. Because you yourself cannot rip off all the pages, but something else can. That's how I became me. I tell people that before I became me, I had to be reduced to nothing so I could build myself back up. My page was burned, it was blown to smithereens, like I didn't have a choice. I didn't even try to rip out the pages, they were ripped out for me. I went through so much pain in my life that it was just boom! Blew up in my face. And so when I had the opportunity, I seized it and I started writing my own book. And the thing is, everyone is capable of writing their own story, with themselves as the main character, with their own ideas, with their own ideals. Your book doesn't have to be permanently tainted by someone else and written by other people. That's not the case. But if you want to start writing your own story, if you want to figure out who you are, then you got to start using your environment. You got to start using all the bad things that life throws at you, because the good things aren't really going to help you rip out the pages. It's the bad things. It's all the stuff you don't like. It's all the stuff that feels like crap. That's what you gotta go for. That's what you gotta embrace. You gotta like hug it. The moment something bad happens, it's like, yes, thank you, give me more, give me more, give me more. It's like weird, sick, and twisted, but it's the truth. You gotta use the external factors to help motivate these internal ones. It's like a weird inverse thing. Most of the time motivation comes from here, that's right. The decision comes from here, but the power comes from both internal and external sources. You can't do it alone. And no one else can do it for you. But don't lose hope, because you can write your own story. You just gotta make the choice.